So for the $1,000,000 question, how can I start a YouTube channel in 2025? Congratulations, you took the first step because now you're saying I'm actually going to start a YouTube channel. Here's what I need you to do though. I need you to actually execute. I actually need you to do it. I actually need you to set it up. I actually need you to film. I actually need you to produce, right? And I know you're like, whoa, you're being aggressive. I am being aggressive because this is something people put off year after year after year, or they start it and they stop it and they start it and they stop it. And now I'm also talking to myself. But let me tell you what happened. If you're new here, I am from TikTok originally because I am a firm believer in you need to pick one platform at a time to focus on. YouTube used to be my focus until TikTok came out. And then once TikTok came out and I started taking TikTok seriously, I saw massive growth, helped other people see massive growth on TikTok, sell courses, help clients, blah, 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 all these things, right? But we're back to YouTube because TikTok is looking shaky. Step one is niche. First off, I am very tired of the no niche thing. Everyone's like, oh, you don't need a niche, you don't need a niche. You need a niche so that these platforms can actually categorize your content. When you don't have a niche, it is confusing to the platforms and the algorithms on what are you making content about. If you make content about seafood one day, biking the next day, and your hair tutorial the next day, how does YouTube or TikTok or Instagram know who to push that content out to? Because we don't have an audience persona based on that alone. So you need to sit down, come up with 3 pillars, right? 3 things that you're gonna consistently talk about. And I don't mean beauty, lifestyle, and skincare. Those are not pillars. Those are general broad topics that you will get lost in the sauce with. I mean something specific. So if you're gonna talk about beauty, lifestyle, and fashion, maybe within beauty, you're gonna talk about lip oils and lip care, right? Specifically lip care. Maybe if you're talking about lip care and wellness, what are you talking about in wellness? What is something that you really like within wellness? Maybe you have a fire juicing recipe. Maybe you always go for the same run every day that's 5 miles and you have a different fit every day. You're gonna hyper focus on something. And I know a lot of people are gonna say, oh, I don't really wanna get that deep. I don't wanna get that niche. One of the biggest and best tips of advice I've ever gotten while being online is if you try to speak to everyone, you will speak to no one. The broader your niche is, the less chance you have of an optimized and specific targeted audience. So if you want to keep listening to the people that are like, make you the brand, you're fine, you don't need a niche. Cool. Just know that that will have slow growth and you won't retain an audience in the same way that you would if you had a hyper-focused niche. Moving on. The next thing you're gonna do is set up your channel, right? So when it comes to a name, you need a good name. And this name needs to stick with you forever. The reason I called my channel Purpose Brand Management, number one, is because that is my business name. Even though I am the face of my business's name is Purpose Brand Management. So if you are a personal brand, you don't need to come up with the name Scooty and the 5, right? You need to have something where people can actually find you and know that it's you. If you want to make it cute and creative, awesome, but make sure that it's something that you can stick with forever. Like, you don't want to have to change, because where a lot of people go wrong, and I have in the past as well, I've had to change my niche several times because I grow out of things. So when you think about, okay, what type of content can I produce? We are changing and evolving human beings. We are always going to change, right? But what is something inside of you that you can constantly be okay with making content about? For an example, the reason I started making content about my business versus personal content is because my personality changes. Like, there was a season I really liked makeup. There was a season I really liked, wellness. There was a season I really liked nail stuff. But it changes a lot for me. And it's also like, you can like one thing, but sometimes making content about something else is a lot of work and you simply don't want to do it. So you need to pick something that you can sustain. Pick a good name that's creative and different. Also, you need to make sure that your brand is positioned well. I'm gonna make another video about brand positioning because that is a huge topic and a huge thing that you need to master before you even hop online. As far as your picture, make sure the picture is cute, aesthetically pleasing. If you are a business, the logo is fine. Hence my channel. I'm just gonna use my business's profile because I don't know if I'm gonna hire employees in the future. I may, because if you have a business, you never know how that will evolve, correct? Correct. So if you are a personal brand, you are an influencer, you are a content creator, you need a clear picture of you on that profile picture and something that represents you in your element, right? If you're somebody that's a lawyer on YouTube giving law advice, we don't want to see you at a party with P&D, right, in the profile picture. No, we want to see you in a professional suit, maybe nice little headshot, because it gives the brand identity, right? Because visual identity plays a role as well in branding, which is something else I'll get to into another video. Then you have to maximize your descriptions. You should be filling up those descriptions with crazy good keywords that are SEO, which means search engine optimized, right? So whatever terms are being highly searched in your niche, you need to make sure you have them somewhere, whether that be the title, the description box, or with the text on screen on the thumbnail. You need them somewhere. Get your equipment together. If you don't have money for a camera and you don't have money for lighting, I need you to get in some sunlight. Okay, get in some sunlight. I do have a camera, I have a few cameras, and I do think that makes a difference in the quality on YouTube. But if you don't have that, you can use your phone. You shouldn't, but here's my thing. A lot of people are like, oh, start with your phone. Yes, start with your phone, but don't finish with your phone. Your phone, in my opinion, is not enough because it's going to be a lot. Number one, it's gonna take up a lot of storage on your phone. Number two, trying to edit on your phone is annoying. So it's just like, think of a way, how can you get your hands on a camera eventually? If this is your business, you have to invest in it, right? So you have to spend money to make money, and that's just my opinion. Plan your content. Lord, if this is not the biggest piece right here, you cannot just aimlessly prop up a camera and make a YouTube video. You have to have some intention behind the video. Come up with a script, and no, you're not going to read it word for word because people are going to know you're reading from word for word. But you definitely want some general themes so people can understand, oh, okay, we know what this video is talking about and we know what to expect. And what she told us and what he told us in the title and the thumbnail, guess what? We're getting it, right? So you definitely want to make sure that you're planning out the content well enough so that your channel has direction. The worst thing you can do is make content aimlessly, because I guarantee you, you're not keeping that target audience member in mind when you do that. That is the worst thing you can do. And that's what I've told all of the people I've worked with, all of the people that I've consulted. Never in your life just say, I'm picking up the camera and recording. If you're not a vlogger, go ahead and put the camera down, baby. Thank you. Optimize your videos with SEO. Every title should have SEO keywords in them. I don't ever want to see it just say weekly vlog. I don't ever want to just see it say my day today, get ready with me, all these basic terms. Whatever you're talking about in these videos that are being highly searched, you need to use them in the title. I will make another separate video about how you can go about doing SEO as far as TikTok, and I'll make one for TikTok and YouTube. But that is going to play a really important role in how you will grow in the beginning. Next, spend time on your thumbnail, y'all. Spend time on your thumbnail. Big text, clear text. What we should know and have an idea of what you're doing or talking about in this video by the thumbnail, and that should keep us engaged. Along with that, if your thumbnail doesn't match the quality of your video, then there's a disconnect. You definitely don't want that. So you need to keep that in mind as well. And I know this is the most annoying piece of advice because everyone hates this piece of advice. You have to be consistent. You have to be consistent. This is something that even I've struggled with over the course of the years. Literally, y'all, I didn't start even being consistent on social media until this year, which is why my TikTok blew up. And if it wasn't for me being consistent and finally taking something serious, like, I don't even know, y'all. I really don't know what would have happened. Like, my business probably wouldn't have taken off how it did and all these things, but it's just like, you cannot sleep on the consistency. If you're gonna say, hey, I'm gonna post a YouTube video every week, you should have a video every week on your channel for the next 52 weeks with no skips. And I know that's hard, but this is the beginning of the journey, right? And if you show YouTube or any of these algorithms any type of inconsistency, you're fighting an uphill battle. And I don't want you to do that, right? So you definitely want to make sure you're being consistent on these platforms. And of course, make sure you cross promote. I will be cross promoting my YouTube videos like crazy in the beginning on TikTok, because TikTok is where the majority of my audience is. So if you're someone like me who maybe you're hopping back on YouTube, or you haven't been on YouTube in a long time. I haven't been on YouTube in a year, y'all. A year! I feels like, oh wait, have I been on YouTube in a year? I don't even know. I don't know how long it's been. What I do know though is you definitely want to make sure you're cross promoting on that popular platform. So if you're popular on Instagram, make sure you're cross promoting it. For me, I'll be cross promoting on TikTok because that's where my audience is, right? So you definitely want to make sure you're using and leveraging audiences you already have. If you're just starting from complete scratch, that's something completely different and you really don't have much to leverage, right? So keep that in mind as well. All right, so these are literally just the basic tips of how to start a YouTube channel, right? That is just the basics. Obviously, each of those subjects could be we could go into way more detail, and I probably will. Like I said, I'll make a video about SEO, and I'll make a video about a lot of other small things that you're not thinking about. I'm also going to be making videos about brand deals, influencer marketing, branding strategy, all these things to help you with your journey. But this is for you to come up with something so you don't have an excuse not to make a YouTube channel anymore. I've given you the basics. Now all you need to do is apply. If you've made it to the end of the video, make sure you put the secret emoji in the comment box below. And of course, if you need any one-on-one services, make sure you check out my description box below. You can find them there. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.